Hey, how's it going, ladies and gentlemen? I'm Ponies and Gentlecolts. This is the one, the only Criticism Guide 2009, aka Nintendo Free 2011. All my subscribers and main viewers, you already know the rest. So before I do begin, real quick, this video is brought to you by Powerade Mountain Berry Blast version. One more other thing, really quick. If I end up getting a call or a text, like the one you just heard now. So, anyways, other than that, real quick, I wanted to get out of the way before I do keep going along. I was on the internet yesterday. Unfortunately, this cheap piece of crap version that's called like Net Zero is only good for like 2 hours. You got to pay $40-$60 every fucking 2 hours just to fucking have the internet, which is like you get a total of $200-$300. And it's definitely money I don't got right now. So I told the company to go fuck off. So if anyone lives out in the Southwest area, like any guys are familiar with like Cox Digital Cable shit. I actually got off the phone with them a couple minutes ago to install it tomorrow, since they weren't able to do it today, since it's kind of late already. It's almost 6 o'clock West Coast time right now. So yeah, before I begin, also real quick, Killing Floor a couple days ago on the 11th, I think it was this past Tuesday or Wednesday, before that whole 12-12-12 marriage thing started happening, which was about 2 days ago. Actually, real quick, there was a Killing Floor update from the Christmas event, which I was really looking forward to playing, but unfortunately, right when I was playing it, and I did get to play all those nice little new map things and all that, I got to see all the Christmas characters like I saw from last year and the year before, which is pretty kick-ass. You know, had the Gingerbread Man, the Christmas Elf Clot, the Gorefast, which was the Gingerbread Man, the Snowball House, the Flesh Pound, which they call the Nut Pound. I know it sounds homo, but probably what his name is. And Jack Frost is great. And who else? The Slutty Stalker. She's always slutty in a lot of things. And then the little reindeer crawler and all those other characters on there. You know, even a siren. And of course the Christmas Patriarch and the Bloat. They're both Santa Claus, which is pretty funny. And then one of the quotes from the Bloats was like, "Oh, give me some cookies to eat." You know, that's typical Tripwire shit. You know, they're kick-ass company. You know, I mean, if I was working for them, I'd probably be making a lot more money than I am at this little cafeteria thing that I'm doing. You know. So real quick, this is the top 10 best movies of 2012. And coming in at number 10, I talked a lot about this movie on my Nintendo Free channel. I got like 60 views on it so far. So it's called Wreck-It Ralph, and it has Jane Lynch and Sarah Silverman as one of the side characters. I think Sarah Silverman plays this girl as Vanellope, excuse me. And then Jane Lynch plays this kick-ass Metal Gear Solid, Call of Duty Battlefield girl or whatever. It's like a parody version of it. I'm not going to get too much into all these movies. I'm just going to tell you why they're number one. So first off, the reason I picked this at number 10, I know it's because it was a little kids movie, but I really, really liked it a lot, and I enjoyed it very much. You know, it's about a lot about 80s and 90s video games. You know, back when you're a retro gamer, especially if you're like an old school gamer, like that grew up with Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis, PS1, Nintendo 64. The shit I was growing up with when I was a kid, you know. That's what it was back in the day. Now it's about either PS3, 360, Connects, Wii U's now, fucking 3DS's, what else? Smartphone tablets like the one I'm using now, you know, iPhones. You know, that's not really a system, that's really a phone service, but it's like all these computers these days are usually even phones these days, you know, so it's a lot more different than it was back in the 90s when I was growing up. The only shit we had there was either CD players or fucking pagers. And if we did have cell phones, it would be those big-ass black ones that look like little walkie-talkies, you know? Not like the 80s one where probably the size of these 3 Powerates put together. Not those big ones, but like, you know, like the size of walkie-talkies, like maybe the size of this half of the hat right here. So, yeah, Wreck-It Ralph, you know, basically, it's about a movie about video games and everything, you know. They show a couple special appearances. They showed Sonic the Hedgehog, Super Mario, fucking Bowser, Dr. Eggman, a.k.a. Dr. Robotnik. Who else? Big Boss from fucking, I think, the old school Metal Gear Solid. That one, and a couple Street Fighter fan people. And then who else? They even showed the Ghost from Pac-Man, which is hilarious as shit when I saw that, you know? What else did they show on there? I think they showed this one that was called, I'm trying to remember the game for it. I don't remember what it was. I think it was Caterpillar and Space Invaders, I think they showed. Which is crazy, because that was like 1985, 86. It was like 3-4 years before I was even alive at that time when I was still going on, you know? So yeah, a lot of pretty kick-ass games. Even Contra was on there, which is pretty kick-ass, you know? So other than that, that's all I got to say about that Wreck-It Ralph. Definitely check it out. If you haven't, well, check it out on bootleg, because it's probably not in theaters anymore. This was about 2-3 months ago when I saw this movie. So yeah. Number 9, this one's definitely out on DVD by now. It's called Secret World of Arrietty. It's an anime manga version of the Borrowers, like the British European version, but a little bit more different. It's on a little bit of a Chino Japanese side. Basically, I'm not going to get too much into that anime too much because even though Studio Ghibli, Miyazaki, he made Spirited Away and Princess Mononoke and a whole bunch of other legendary kick-ass fucking films that were in anime. I don't even have to say his name. That's how much of a legend he's been, especially with in Japan. He's a god out there, literally. Mr. Miyazaki, man, if it wasn't for him, I probably would not never been into anime movies or any of that, Basically what it's about is, it's the same concept, as the British version, the American version. Like, if you got any guys out there, especially if you guys are overseas out there, if you've never tried out, if you've never seen the American version of The Borrowers, it actually stars John Goodman. He's in there. I'm not sure who the other people are, but I know they're British. If any of you guys don't know who John Goodman is, the last 2 movies he was in was Argo, the one with Ben Affleck, and Flight with Denzel Washington. So he's a pretty big-ass actor, besides weight-wise, because I know he's a little bit more fatter than I am, but, he's like 48, 50 years old. What do you expect, He's in the middle age, but he's still a real good actor. I know he's going to be doing Sully's voice next year when Monsters, Inc. 2 comes out. Really looking forward to seeing that movie because I grew up with that one back when I was like 11, 12 years old, when Disney and Pixar were still together before they broke up and before they got back together, that whole shebang. So other than that, Secret World of Arrietty, the graphics are amazing, I love all the anime manga that he just puts all this together. The whole story, the whole concept of the story is basically about this kid. He's really sick in his bed. He doesn't have no friends. He doesn't have no life, and he actually goes out to live in his grandmother's house or whatever in the middle of nowhere in this big deep-ass forest. And he thinks he's got cancer, leukemia, or a tumor or something like that. And then he finds these little people, which are the Borrowers. And the main character of the Borrowers is actually this little girl named Arrietty, which, believe it or not, she's actually played by one of these girls that used to be on Saturday Night Live. I forgot her name, but I know her friend was Tina Fey. It wasn't Tina Fey, but it was the other one, the one with the blonde hair and everything. If I find out what her name is, I'll put the link down below so you can check that lady out. She's funny as shit. Very famous actor. I know she did a movie with Will Ferrell called Blades of Glory. That's the blonde girl I'm talking about. So other than that, basically, it's about a sick kid who wants to make new friends, and the only friend he has is his little black cat. Kind of brings bad luck, but I really don't believe in any of that shit. And other than that, it's a very amazing movie. The voice acting is very, very on point. The music for it, I wasn't crazy about it because it wasn't your traditional like anime music like J-pop or like some soothing, new age kind of music. It cleans the soul all this dirty shit that you have in your body. Very amazing music. It's all right, but I'm not crazy about it. Kind of like some Nicki Minaj. I don't know, Lady Gaga kind of thing, which didn't really go too well at the end, so I was pretty disappointed in that. But other than that, very amazing movie. I highly suggest you go take your kids out to go see, buy this for your kids because it's not in theaters anymore, either of these two. Definitely let your kids watch Wreck-It Ralph and Secret Arrietty. It's definitely a family movie. I highly thumbs up for that one. Next one up is more of a teenager, grown adult movie. Definitely don't bring your kids not go see this movie, but definitely do not buy the DVD for this because there's really a lot of teen adult jokes in this. It's called 21 Jump Street. Features Jona Hill and Channing Tatum, and a little bit of a feature with Ice Cube on there. I'm not going to get too much on what it's about. The only thing I will tell you that it is about is that it's about these two cops. They're basically undercover in this little high school, and they have to like uncover a drug bust or a drug raid or whatever, and basically what it comes down to is those two trying to get promoted because they got fired on their other little park ranger job. So it's up to those two to check this other thing. I forgot what the name of the drugs is called. It's like a roofies thing, but like you eat it like a fortune cookie or whatever. It's a flat fortune cookie and it makes you high as fuck. It's an LSD acid trip kind of thing. It's like 5 different steps, and after these 5 steps happen, you basically go ape shit or you fucking die or you're in a coma, And then at the end they catch the guy who did it, and they're like it's pretty disgusting at the end because like he gets shot in the dick by Jona Hill. It's like I think it was Channing Tatum or one of those two. It's like you got fucked up, bitch, and and they say, "In your face, motherfucker," and I was dying laughing when I saw that movie a couple months ago. I think it was back in March when it came out. It's when I first started this cafeteria cook thing a long time ago. And one more thing I do want to say about this movie, there is a lot of graphics and cussing and shit on here, so if you're very offended by profanity, I highly suggest you do not see this movie. So yeah, 21 Jump Street even has a cameo appearance with the original 21 Jump Street, because I didn't know there was an 80s version of this, so it's Johnny Depp. They showed him on there, and he ends up dying, gets shot in the neck or whatever, so he doesn't live. And then that one Moreno black dude, I forgot his name, I think it was D. Ray Davis, or the one that was, what the fuck is his name? The one that was on all the Friday movies. That one in The Hangover, the one that did Doug, the black Doug. That guy, I forgot his name. I don't know if it's D. Ray Davis or another dude, I forgot. I think Mike Epps, yeah, that's the dude, Mike Epps. So, really funny Moreno guy right there. Other than that, let's go on to the next one real quick. Yeah, 21 Jump Street. Next one is Ted, Seth MacFarlane, and Mark Wahlberg. Very good combination, if I do say so myself. Of course, it stars Mila Kunis, and we'll just check how long I've been doing this. 7 minutes. Let me check this out. I might have to make this half a video if I don't finish this video, so please forgive me on that. But yeah, other than that, Ted, basically stars Seth MacFarlane, like I said, with Mila Kunis and Mark Wahlberg. Basically about this little teddy bear, he comes to life. It's played by none other than, of course, Seth MacFarlane, the one that's done American Dad, Cleveland Show, what else? American Dad, Cleveland Show, Family Guy, all those kind of shows, And he was going to make the Flintstones this year, but I guess he canceled it. So, oh well, it's all good. But yeah, very hilarious movie. Once again, this is definitely for adults. Do not bring your kids to this movie because it's a lot of cussing, profanity. There's still a little bit of nudity here and there too. And if you already know what Seth MacFarlane's style is, he does like to make fun of a lot of races, make fun of black people, white people, Asian, Latinos. He did a couple Mexican jokes. I wasn't too offended by it because, I'm already half Puerto Rican. I think he did one Puerto Rican joke, but that was it. But that's what you expect with Seth MacFarlane. He likes to step on a lot of toes, He even makes a couple cultural references with Facebook and Twitter and YouTube and shit like that. So it's real funny, I was dying laughing on the edge of my seat. It was actually a lot funnier than 21 Jump Street, so definitely worth your money's worth on getting this for like $10, $20, wherever, how much it is at Walmart, Kmart, wherever you get your movies at, even Best Buy, even Amazon, I don't know. But yeah, that's all I gotta say for Ted. Very funny ass movie. Even a little special cameo guest in the beginning of the movie. If any of you guys know about My Little Pony, like Tara Strong, she's done that, Ben 10, Fairly Odd Parents, she's done billions of cartoons. Last one I saw her was like Symbiotic X Titan. Very legendary voice actress. She actually does this one part for the Ted. She says, "I love you." When she does that part, she actually does that part of the voice before he comes to life. That's when Seth MacFarlane takes over Tara Strong's thing. So, another legend in that movie for sure, even though it's for like 5 minutes, but best 5 minutes ever. And yeah, that's it. That's all I got to say about Ted. So coming in at number 6, I haven't really seen this movie, but I've heard a lot of funny things about it, is The Candidate, starring Will Ferrell and Zach Gallagher, or Zach Galifianakis, however the fuck you say his last name. Same dude that was in The Hangover, and what else? And that one other one with Robert Downey Jr. and Jamie Foxx. I forgot the name of it. I think it was called the something. I forgot what it was. He has to go see his wife before he's pregnant. I think it was called The Hitchhike Road or something. I don't know. But other than that, yeah, very funny movie. Will Ferrell, you already know his style. He likes to pretend he's a little kid sometimes. He's kind of like Adam Sandler's style a little bit, except he's more grown up and then a little kid at the same time. He likes to mix it up a notch. Very funny guy. I've seen a lot of his movies. The last movie I actually saw from was Casa de Mi Padre. A very funny movie. It's like making fun of Latino novelas and shit like that. And one of the guys on there, I think his name was Valentina Rodriguez or something. No, he's Mexicano, because I'm Mexican, so I should be able to tell. He was actually a real novela star. If you guys don't know what novela means, that means like a soap opera in English, especially for Mexicanos or any Mexican Puerto Ricans out there, any other Latinos that are watching this, ya tú sabes, you know what the fuck I'm talking about. You probably grew up with your mom or your dad watching novelas, particularly your mother, because 4 or 5 years ago when I was still living in my parents' place, she would watch novelas non-stop, which is crazy as shit, So you know what it is if you lived in a Latino household like I have, But other than that, yeah, very funny movie too, Casa de Mi Padre. The other one, The Candidate, They did it around the same time when Mitt Romney and Obama were still candidating as president and shit. Of course, Obama won last month, obviously. But yeah, other than that, what's it called? A lot of funny jokes, a lot of adult humor on there, a little bit of nudity on there. So I highly suggest you do not show this one to your kids as well. Definitely for adults only, unless you're a teen, you want to watch it anyways. Laugh your ass off, by all means. You know, a lot of physical humor too. They even show the part where he's punching a baby. I was like, what the fuck? And I was laughing a little bit, and then there's one part where Zach Gilligan, he shoots Will Ferrell in this little thing with a crossbow, like that. And I was laughing hard as fuck. He almost hit him in the balls, too. It's like, you almost hit me in the balls. And I was dying laughing when I saw that shit. Other than that, let me just check the video, see how long I've been doing this. 16 minutes. So, hopefully you guys can hear me. I can't do anything about my microphone problem. I'm going to have to deal with it, unfortunately. Until I get a new camera, of course. Coming up at number 5, very amazing movie. Kids, teens, and adults, all of them can watch this. It's called The Hunger Games. Definitely rent it for Blu-ray or DVD or buy it if you can. Take it on Netflix. The only person I knew famous was in there was Woody Harrelson and Lenny Kravitz, which is crazy. I haven't seen Lenny Kravitz since he did that like P. Diddy video a long time ago. It was called Strip Down to Your Soul or something, or Ass on the Floor. I don't know. That was 2003, a long time ago. That was still when I was in middle school. So it's been a good 10, 11 years since I heard that song. So other than that, yeah, The Hunger Games, basically I'm not going to get too much into depth with that. It would take 2 hours to do a video review on that movie, literally. Other than that, you know, basically it starts with this girl, that was an X-Man, her name was Katniss, and she's trying to fight for her little country thing or whatever. The whole U.S. is like 200-300 years into the future that there's a lot of dictatorship going on. Instead of having all 50 states like we got right now in the U.S., it's separated into like 12 districts, and every district is basically dying of hunger, and every once a year they pick these little teenagers from 13 to like 18 years old, or maybe 20 at the oldest. They pick them to go fight for their district so they could basically put on a show for all the districts, because it's all dictatorship now. It basically tells them to fight for their country, and whichever district wins, they get their district and the person that fought for them, the little teenager, whether it's a boy or girl, whatever that happens to them, you know, they basically get all the food in the world, and they never have to go starving ever again, whichever district wins. And then the other 11 districts, they got to suffer for another year until another district takes over, and that teenager from a different side of the district wins. Very complicated, I know, but that's the only thing I can tell you about it. Let me tell you, all the little weapons and shit that they use in there, very kick-ass. You know, a lot of people were kind of comparing it to Twilight. I don't know why. Maybe because there's another little teenage fan-based movie. You know, I'm almost 24 now, but I still thought it was pretty kick-ass, you know. And what else did I think? The acting was very amazing. You know, I loved the storyline. I know there was a book on it. Never knew about it until the movie came out a couple weeks later. That's when they were saying there was a book on it. And then the only catchphrase I know from that movie was, may the odds be forever in your favor. And then they do this little thing like number 1, number 2, that thing, the kiss to the sky. I don't know what that shit's about. Other than that, that's all I got to say about the Hunger Games. So moving on at number 4, a lot of people know this. Definitely bring your kids, your teenagers, your parents, your grandparents even. Number 4, The Avengers. And there's a whole bunch of actors. I'm not going to get into every single one. The only ones I will tell you are the actors I'm familiar with. It stars Iron Man, a.k.a. Robert Downey Jr., plays Tony Stark Iron Man. Chris Hemsworth, the one that plays Thor. Who else? Samuel Jackson, that plays Nick Fury. And the other one that plays Black Widow, I forgot her name. I keep thinking it was Jessica Biel, but I think it was Christina Applegate or something like that. I forgot what her name was. Or Jessica something, I don't know. But other than that, you know, there's her, and then who else? Last but not least, Jeremy Renner that plays Hawkeye, the one that did The Bourne Legacy, and what other movie did he do? The Town with Ben Affleck, a couple years he did that. And who else is on there? There's a couple other people on there. And of course, Mark Ruffalo that played the Incredible Hulk, very kick-ass right there. And I don't know who played Loki. I think he was some British-Australian dude. He's pretty big out there. He's not real huge out here, though, unfortunately. But he did pretty good as Loki. And basically what it's about these, the dude named Loki. He's trying to take over the world and trying to take aliens and these demons and then taking over the whole planet Earth. And unfortunately, he gets defeated by the Avengers. But there's a lot of amazing graphics on here. The CGI in this movie unfucking believable. Beautiful as fuck. That's all I can say. Words cannot even describe how great this movie is. I'm really looking forward to the second one if the shit doesn't hit the fan next week Friday. It's in 2014 and like, I think it's 2014 or 2015, so it's in like 2 or 3 more years it's going to come out, so it's going to be a while, but it's definitely worth the wait. I'll be like probably 26 by then, a while from now, so I'm going to be even older. Let's just put it like that. So yeah, The Avengers. There's even a video game based on it. I think there was an MMORPG game for it on Steam, I'm not sure. Fill me out if there was, because I would definitely love to join that shit. And yeah, a lot of superheroes, a lot of Marvel characters too, so if there's any DC fanboys out there, sorry to burst your bubble, I really like Marvel a lot better than DC, I don't know why, it just is what it is. So coming in real quick at number 3, The Dark Knight Rises, which stars Mr. Christian Bale, Morgan Freeman, Anne Hathaway, Michael Keaton, and then of course Joseph Gordon-Levitt. I'm not going to get too much into this movie because I only have like 10 views on my Criticism Guy channel on this channel. Only thing I will say is that the gadgets that Christian Bale, aka Bruce Wayne Batman, plays, very kick-ass. I love all the acting in this movie. It is very, very fucking phenomenal. I'm loving it with a passion. I was actually watching it like a couple hours earlier before I even did this video. And let me just tell you, it never gets old. The dude that plays Bane, I don't know who he is, but I think it was the one that did Fantastic Four, the one that did The Thing. I'm not sure if that was him or not, but if it was, another very amazing performance by that guy. And he also did The Shield on FX, if any of you guys watched that show. And another thing I really loved about it, the storyline is very kick-ass. They leave where they left off in The Dark Knight, where the Joker was still alive, aka Heath Ledger. Rest in peace to that dude. Basically, yeah, after 7 years later, when Harvey Dent and the Joker die later on, basically it's about him, you know, finding his place in this world with Batman. And then they show Catwoman, which is played by Anne Hathaway, and her movie name is called Selina Kyle, and she does pretty good. She's very sexual. She's probably like the sexiest I've ever seen her in any other movie, because a lot of her movies are either chick flicks or romance comedies. This is the first time I see her in an action movie, and she definitely delivered. I think there was another one that was called Get Smart. She did that one with Steve Carell a couple of years ago. So that was like an action comedy, so that was alright too. So there's a couple other movies out, not movies, video games that were made for The Dark Knight. So basically the whole title explains itself. I know shout out to my dude 3CR Topics. I know he's a real big fan of the Batman series and a lot of the Justice League stuff that's out there. I'm not really a huge fan of the Justice League thing. I'm more into like my anime manga stuff. I know he likes manga too, but the only 2 superheroes I ever really have respect for is either Superman or Spider-Man. The other ones are pretty cool too. Definitely Iron Man's on there too. Iron Man, the Hulk, and especially Captain America. He was actually the first superhero I ever heard about a couple years after I was born. I was like 6, 7 years old. After that, that's when I heard about all the other Marvel DC characters out there. So yeah, The Avengers and The Dark Knight Rises. Coming in at number 2 and 1, The Twilight Saga Breaking Dawn Part 2. I actually did this video about 2 weeks ago on my Nintendo Free channel. I'm not going to get too much into it. The only thing I will say, the ending of the battle, you know, when they're all fighting each other, all the wolves and the vampires and shit, all kicking each other's asses, that's the only good part in this movie, because the rest of it, it kind of made me fall asleep, because I really didn't give a shit about any of that other part. And the other thing you have to know is their daughter, Mesme, that's in there. She was actually a CGI baby, and then later on they ended up making it into a real baby after that. Kind of weird, I don't get that shit, but it's the 21st century, what are you going to do? It's almost 2013 if the shit doesn't hit the fan, you know? Other than that, yeah, Twilight Saga Breaking Down, you know, Kirsten Stewart, Rob Pattinson, who else? Fucking, that Jacob dude, a.k.a. the one that's always showing his muscles off, these sluts that probably want to suck his cock and shit. I mean, if I was a woman, I'd probably want to do the same thing. It's Taylor Lautner, that's the guy's name, yeah. But maybe I probably would have been a lesbian if I was a woman, probably, most likely. But yeah, that's all I got to say about that. Twilight Saga Breaking Down Part 2. And then last but not least, number fucking 1, End of Watch, featuring Jake Gyllenhaal and Michael Peña. Very kick-ass Latino dude, by the way. Very awesome Latino dude. Let me just get a drink of this real quick. I want to check this one more time and I won't do it no more. 25 minutes. This is probably going to be a 30-minute video, so I'm probably not going to get a lot of views on this, but I can live with that. So, yeah. End of watch. Basically, it's about a movie with two officers. It's kind of like a documentary action film. Any of you guys haven't seen any other Jake Gyllenhaal's movies? He's a very kick-ass actor. He's done a couple other movies. I can't really think of them right now. Michael Pena, he hasn't really done too many movies in over, like, I think 10 years. He's kind of like, he looks like William Valderrama a little bit, but he's another Latino. I think he's just pure Mexican. I don't think he's Venezuelan like he is. I think he usually does a lot of TV shows and stuff. He really doesn't do too many movies, so I was surprised to see him in this movie. And America Ferrera is actually in there, too. White people I know you guys love her, and same with black people. She did that family wedding one where she marries a black dude and shit. And I had Carlos Mencia on there, so you should know who America Ferrera is by now. And the girl that was next to her, I'm not sure if that was Kirsten Stewart or not. If it was, she had me fooled like crazy, because I kept wondering, is that Kirsten Stewart or not, you know? And basically the whole movie is about these two guys showing what it's like to be an officer in Los Angeles, California, the West Coast, which is, of course, 4 hours away from me. I'm not that far from it. And basically, you know, it shows how they live their life every day, you know, when they're on duty cops and when they're off duty with their family and their friends and shit like that. And then I remember one part in the movie is like this one moreno, this ghetto ass black dude's like, hey yo, my nigga, you finna like these motherfuckers is after your ass, man, like, you know, typical ghetto shit like that, you know. I heard they got a hit on you motherfuckers, man. You better watch your asses, man. You know, typical, you know, Ebonics black people show, you know. And the other guy, Jake Gyllenhaal, is like, oh, we're cops. We're used to getting death threats, you know? Everybody hates us. And then, like, Michael Pena's like, yeah, you got that, bro. And he's not the stereotypical Latino, which was great because that movie, whoever directed it, the directors and producers, I highly doubt they're watching this video vlog. But if you are, thank you very much for not putting any stereotypical Latinos in there as an officer. Even though he did put the cholos and vatos and shit on there, that's understandable. I can understand that. But thank you very much for not making my people look completely retarded and ghetto as fuck. And making them see it as a good thing, you know? I'm glad Michael Pena got to play as a cop, and I'm glad it wasn't another white or a black dude that was on the side. They put a Latino on there, which I'm very happy that they put a Latino in a positive light instead of a negative light. You know, it just goes to show white people are starting to, you know, soften up on my race. Thank you very much. Other than that, you know, the action in this movie is very amazing. There's a lot of gun shooting on here. Definitely for adults. Do not bring your kids to this movie. Well, it's probably not in theaters no more. If it is, it's probably in a drive-through theater. So definitely get it on DVD. I've seen it on Netflix 100 times. Very kick-ass. Never a dull moment on there. It is sad what happens at the end, but I don't want to spoil it for you guys. So definitely check it out. America Ferrera's acting was pretty good too. There's a lot of jokes and gag reels, a lot about California, a lot of Latino and white people jokes on there too. So if you get easily offended easily on this movie, definitely don't check it out. But if you can handle that racial jokes and slurs and shit like that, by all means, watch the movie. I guarantee it. 10 out of 10 for damn sure. That's why it's on my #1 list. And of course, my bonuses, I'm not going to talk about them. It's called The Grey Wolf. It starred Liam Neeson and Taken 2, also Liam Neeson. The Amazing Spider-Man, Andrew Garfield and Emma Stone, and the last one, The Expendables 2, and I already talked about that like 3-4 months ago on my Criticism Guy channel. Maybe, if not, check out my Nintendo Free 2011 channel. I'll leave that link down below in the description box below. So, yeah, that's all I got to say for now. So it is what it is, ain't what it ain't. Peace out. See you when I see you. Laters. Have a good day, have a good night wherever you're at. It's a Friday, so don't get too drunk and wasted out there. I'll probably have this video either by tomorrow or next week, Monday or Tuesday, okay? Peace. Take care. Stay safe. And goodbye.